Hi everyone. I have wonderful Stanley with me here today. I'm so glad. It feels good to have him by my side. I made a video yesterday on a Christmas ornament, a Christmas activity, but I told Stanley I don't want you to post it. And he said, "Why not? You made it." And I said, "No, I just don't. Save it for next year." So we'll be ahead. I have a Christmas video already made for 2023. But when we woke up this morning, he said, "I want to do a video. I want to share the eulogy I did for my dad last Sunday." In August, things got really hard for our whole family as Stanley's father was put on hospice. We call him Oji-chan, that is grandfather in Japanese. And he just died on October 13, and his service was a week ago Sunday, and it was just a beautiful service. Our daughter Paige wrote the life sketch, and all the grandkids participated in giving that. And our youngest daughter Annie had the last lines, and I think those were the most challenging lines, but the kids did a beautiful, beautiful job for an incredible man.
So this week's video, I downloaded the post from the church where the memorial service was held, and I edited just my eulogy portion, so that's this week's video. But there's a link to the entire service on the comments, and we've also bookmarked the life sketch, my older brother's eulogy, George, and then my younger brother's eulogy, James. So,
yeah, if you just want to watch parts of it, or even just Stanley's portion, that's there for you. His name was Shindo Matsuda, and he shared with his beloved Nawe, his wife, Stanley's mom, just short of 62 weeks, short of 63 years of marriage. One of the most incredible facts about this man is that he is one of the first 3 RNs in all of Japan. And, we even have a picture of those first three nurses. Just an incredible human who...
Yeah, I think you meant to say first 3 male nurses.
Yes, they had nurses for a long time in Japan, but not males. Thank you. And we learned at the service that even to this day, male nurses in Japan are not even a common thing to this day. So this is our last video of 2022, and we want to thank you for being with us. Some of you each week, some of you sporadically. But with every single view, it helps us to feel connected as a community. And so we really thank you for spending time with us. And we will join again the Sunday before we go back to school in January. And we know that the Matsuda family is not the only family experiencing loss right now. We know that many of you have hurts and loss. And so we want to extend our greatest love and comfort to you. And at this Christmas time, we want to wish you and all of yours a very Merry Christmas from our family to you. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Don't touch this, right? Okay. Hello, my name is Stanley, and I'm the middle child of my dad, Shindo Matsuda, and that was my brother, George. So if you can figure that out. Okay, anyways. I'm really honored today to be wearing one of his suits. It's, this one here is tailor-made in Japan, and all those boys here are wearing one of his ties. Growing up with my dad, you experience a lot. So you have lots of stories, but I want you to know it was very hard for me to decide what to tell you about my dad. Anyway, should I talk about how my dad would randomly come home from work with a brand new black and white TV? Now we can watch the first lunar landing. Or how about the time he came home with a microwave oven so my mom could boil water in 60 seconds instead of 5 minutes it would take on the stove? Or should I tell you about the time he came home from work driving in an RV? Yeah. Or maybe I should talk about that 1 month summer RV vacation that my brother George was talking about, driving to Alaska. Well, he didn't mention that when you drive on a gravel dirt road, you drive at 10 miles an hour. And everything in the motorhome is rattling, like the pots and pans. All right, so that's a lot of driving. And so speaking of driving, my dad was the one that taught me how to drive. And clearly, he didn't do a really good job because I was the only one who had 3 accidents in the first 3 years of driving. He didn't yell at me. This is what he said after my first accident. When you drive, drive. When you eat, eat. When you study, study. When you kiss, kiss. I'm still processing that advice. After my second accident, he didn't talk to me at all. After my third accident, my brother already alluded, so my dad bailed me out of jail. Or maybe I should talk about the time I spent an entire week working with my dad, not as a nurse anesthetist assistant, but installing an irrigation system at some stranger's backyard. Yes, the life sketch is true. My dad constantly had many side jobs throughout his life. So he taught me how to cut and thread galvanized pipe. He taught me how to work with PVC pipes. He taught me how to install drip lines. We would leave home when it was dark so we could arrive just when the sun was coming up, and we would not quit until the sun had set. And because we would arrive at the work site at the crack of dawn, my body hadn't gone through its morning rituals. Do you understand what I'm talking about, morning rituals? So my dad would ask me, go get the pipe wrench. So I go from the backyard to the truck, and then I get this really strong urge to go to the bathroom. So what do? Do I get the wrench? I might have an accident. If I knock on the stranger's door to use the bathroom, my dad won't get his wrench. The dilemma of a teenage boy. Or I can tell you about the time my dad came to be with me and my family and prayed for me during my 7 major operations and surgeries. And the last one during COVID, he wore his homemade hazmat suit so he could go to the hospital when he wouldn't even risk coming to this church. No, so instead, I'm going to tell you about the time growing up with my dad as our barber, okay? I'm sure you're thinking my brothers and I had like bowl cuts. But on the contrary, my dad had a legit, professional, high performance, commercial grade hair clipper. The tops were cut long enough for a side part, and then the sides and the back had this tapered fade cut. So side note, as you know, my dad's hair is all slicked back, but what you don't know is that he wore this really thin cotton cap at night so that his hair would stay that way all day. And I think my mom sewed that cap. And well, I wanted to be like my dad, so I wanted to wear that cap. And so I did, but that only lasted for a couple days. Anyways, my brothers and I actually all looked pretty good. But the thing was, we didn't have a barber's chair. So we stood naked in the tub while my dad cut our hair. Now, I'm going to wait a while and let that sink in until you realize how genius my dad was. So 45 years later, my wife, Deneen, maybe she would stand up. No? Okay, no. She cuts my hair while I stand naked in the shower. Now, who's the genius? I know a lot of what my dad did for me and our family, but I know there are thousands more things that he did for us that I will likely never know. I am forever grateful, proud, and blessed to be one of his 3 sons. Daddy, I love you and will miss you every day. And I won't be late bringing that pipe wrench when we are together in heaven again.